Okay, hi everyone, Fox 19 now, First Alert Meteorologist Anna DuVall, here with your forecast update. I was waiting for a couple of people to get on here. We have a lot of people on. Let's just change the background here to the correct thing. Okay, so here's what it's looking like around town right now. A lot of people seeing snowflakes. We're starting to see some light accumulation on the ground out there. So here's that live look around town. As always, drop your comments, questions, concerns in the comments. I see those as they come in. So just let me know what you guys need to know. We're going to go through a lot of stuff on here. I know Brad was just on here for a pretty significant amount of time. So we'll kind of make this one short and sweet and then continue here on the 30 minutes. So right now we're seeing some snow falling, 13 degrees. We have a little bit of a breeze. It's feeling more like -1 out there, but you can see the roads here, pretty slick. It doesn't look like that salt is helping us very much, especially because those temperatures are just too cold for it to be working. So that's something we're going to be dealing with those slick roadways. So if you have to go out and about right now, it's definitely going to be slick moving forward here. So just something to look out for as you're heading around town. Here's what it's looking like on a different camera, Mount Auburn right now. 13 degrees again, snow starting to fall. You can see that down in this corner here where you can see the white on the ground, the snow coming down as well. Again, feeling pretty cold. We're starting to see that dusting pretty much widespread across the tri-state. I know we were dealing with a little bit of a dry layer there, but now the dew point's starting to get up a little bit more. And so now that that moisture is starting to surge into our area, we'll start to see some more snow coming in just a little while here over the next 24 hours. So as you guys know, First Alert Weather Day, that winter storm is coming in. We're expecting 10 to 16 inches likely across the tri-state, down to the south of Ohio, the Ohio River there. In northern Kentucky, we could see some sleet mixed in, which could slightly lower your total. So that's just something to watch out for if you're in our northern Kentucky regions. I'm seeing a couple of questions come in. What's it going to look like at 5:30 in the morning? Let's get into that. You're definitely going to have a lot of snowfall. And so let's get into what that's going to look like for you here over the next couple of hours. I just have to pull that specifically up real fast. Especially at 5 in the morning, a lot of snow. The heavier snow is definitely in those early morning hours there. And so that's really what we're watching out for. I just am going to look it up so I can pull it up a little faster. Sorry, guys. Okay, here it is. So sorry. Okay, let's go through the next couple of hours here. So here's what it's looking like right about now. Again, most of the tri-state still seeing a decent amount of snow, and that's going to completely cover the tri-state. And you can see as we get into the later portions, this is 9 p.m. where those darker blue colors start to come in. And you can see even darker over in Indiana there. And that's going to be the trend here over the next couple of hours going into tonight and overnight. Midnight, 2 a.m. Again, this is when the heavier snow starts to make its way into the tri-state. And so as we move forward here into the early morning hours, I know the question was about 5:30. Here's what it's going to look like around 5 a.m. Again, still seeing snow coming down, a few heavier pockets, heavier bands here and there. You can see how close down in northern Kentucky that line is where the pink colors are located. I'll move this computer a little bit. You can see it a little bit better. Those pink colors indicate that wintry mix where you could see some sleet involved, and you can see how close that gets to our viewing area. So this is something we're watching as it starts to track a little closer here. We'll watch out to see if we have more of that mixing, which again could lead more towards those snowfall totals being a little less high. Yes, so I'm seeing the comments about the dew point. You really need it to be above 0 to see that snow really start to come down. It's just too dry up and near the Columbus area for the time being. Yeah, it's going to be pretty dry. You should be able to shovel it, but it's going to be so cold that you really only need to be out there for maybe a couple of minutes at a time. The wind chills are just going to be way below freezing, and we just want to make sure that everyone is staying safe out there. Oh my gosh, Samantha, I hope you make it safely to a hospital or wherever you're having your baby. Congratulations. It's happening during a winter storm, but maybe that'll make it just a little fun. Scroll up here, and we'll talk about a few more things. We'll get back into the timing here with this storm. Okay. Well, this takes a second to load. Yes, Monday morning is going to be pretty hazardous, especially because the snow is going to linger around. So the cold is going to stay with us, so the snow is going to stay with us moving forward here. Maria, I see your comment about the power outages. What we're really looking for power outages would be mostly ice. We're not expecting to see a lot of ice here. That's mostly going to stay to the south, southern Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia area. So we should be pretty set with the power outages, but you definitely could see a few, especially in those higher total areas with that heavy snow coming down. Yeah, right now, again, just a light coating across the area, very light snow. We're having active snowfall, but again, very light for now. The roads are going to stay covered here over the next couple of days. We're expecting, again, 10 to 16 inches across the tri-state. Sleet is possible to the south, which could lower those snowfall totals. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., again, it's still going to be snowing. We're going to see snow over the next few days. Here's what it's going to be looking like. Here is a timeline for you. Again, 1 to 3 inches on the ground. That's for tonight. And then this will move forward. Sunday morning when you wake up, we'll have 5 to 9 inches on the ground. And then by Sunday evening, 10 to 16 inches. And the roads are just going to be completely covered in snow. So I would definitely be really careful about going to work tomorrow. On Monday, it's going to be completely snow covered. The temperatures are too cold right now for the salt on the roads to even work, so it's going to be kind of a hot mess. So I would just be extra careful if you do have to go to work. And then that Arctic air, those travel issues, those are going to linger. Again, really cold air is still staying with us here. I see the comment, Adam, about the snow on Christmas. I still have my Christmas tree up just for this reason. I know I'm going to get hate in the comments for that, but I have all my Christmas decorations still up because I knew that snow was coming and I wanted to pretend that it was a white Christmas for myself. Here's what it's looking like on a bigger look of this system, and you can see that stretching all the way from New Mexico all the way up through Ohio there, heading into Pennsylvania, and you can see how far stretched those winter storm warnings are. Down to the south, you can see where these pink colors are here, pinks, purples. That's that ice, that sleet, that wintry mix that a lot of people are seeing. This is where the really dangerous portion of this storm is. It's going to be in Tennessee for now. You see down in Mississippi, Alabama, they're seeing some rain, some thunderstorms going to move in as well. We zoom in here for a little bit of a closer look. This is what it's looking like in the Cincinnati area right now. And for everyone surrounding us, we'll zoom in a little bit more so we can get some of these counties in. But you can see we're kind of sandwiched right now. Northern counties are seeing heavier pockets of snow. You can see where those deeper blue colors are. And then down to the south, we're seeing that same thing. Right in the middle, there's a little bit of that, just that light snow, just seeing those flurries out there. If you haven't put salt down, I would go ahead and do that now before, the bigger portion of the storm comes. But the problem is that it's probably not going to do a whole lot, especially with these temperatures being as cold as they are. Really, once you reach 16 degrees, salt does not work anymore, so it's not going to be very effective anymore. Yeah, Stephanie said it there. It's not going to be effective once it's below 16 degrees, so you could still do it, but it's really not going to do very much. If we zoom out here, we look at different areas, you can see where the heavier pockets are coming. And this storm is angled kind of in a 45-degree angle, so you can see how it's moving like this, where the heavier pockets near Louisville right now will start to be in our southern counties in northern Kentucky here in the next few minutes, and then a lot of heavier snowfall near the St. Louis area as well. And again, that wider view, and we can zoom in and show you guys how close we are to this line where it shows that sleet, that wintry mix, and then it turns into rain. That's where that heavier impacts lie, but we're dealing with mostly snow here, and you can see the snow again, heavier pockets here and there across the area, but everyone should be seeing flurries right now, and this will be kind of the trend moving forward. Okay, here's what to expect. By midnight, 1 to 3 inches. Yeah, John, I agree. It's amazing how big, how expansive this storm is. If we go back, and I can show you this here, just look how wide this is. It's covering the entire state of Missouri, almost the entire state of Illinois, the entire state of Indiana as well. So this is a really wide storm that's really impacting millions of people. So this is why this has been such a major event. This is why we're doing the live streams, the hits every hour. No. I see that comment there, Jenny. We're supposed to have 1 to 3 inches by midnight, so we're not concerned about having 3 inches by now. Right now, we're just dealing with some flurries that are coming through the area. 1 to 3 inches, again, that's by midnight. Then by the time we're moving 6 a.m. Sunday, when you wake up, 5 to 9 inches will be across the area. And then by 11 p.m. on Sunday, we're expecting 10 to 16 across the entire tri-state here. And I can show you what this looks like on our models here. This is midnight to night. Again, you can see mostly that 1 to 2 inch rains, maybe an isolated 3 inches. But then look how quickly this picks up. 8 a.m. Sunday, 10 inches there in Cincinnati, 9 inches in the south. You can see places with lesser values, closer to 6, 7 inches as well. Then as we move until noon, this is what it's looking like. 14 inches up to the north, 16 there in Cincinnati. Down in the more southern counties in northern Kentucky, again, seeing maybe a little less, especially when we reach that area of seeing some sleet, seeing that mixing taking place here. Okay, I'm going to get to the ice forecast. That's actually next, so I'm going to show you this. Here's when it's moving forward. This is Monday. This is the ice. The ice mostly is going to stay in the Kentucky area here. Expecting some accumulation for ice, but really you would have to have about 1/4 of an inch for it to really cause some damage. So we are not expecting a lot of ice accumulation with this. Again, here are those snowfall totals across the area, 10 to 13 inches up to the north. The middle Cincinnati metro here, 13 to 16 inches. And anywhere with this hashed line, again, may see some mixing, and this will reduce some of our totals. Again, these totals will be breaking records if we see a significant amount, especially before midnight tonight. 3 inches is our record for today, so if we can get over 3 inches before midnight, then we could break a record. And then going into Sunday, we only have to get about 5 inches, which is likely that we'll definitely get to break this record here. We will have another one of these live streams here on the next 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this graphic for you guys, and I'll see you guys back here at 8:30. I hope everyone stays really safe for tonight, tomorrow. Stay warm. Don't go outside going into tomorrow. I know it's tempting to play in the snow, but temperatures are going to be really cold. So I hope everyone stays safe, and again, I'll see you back here on that 30-minute mark in just a second.